Hello everyone. Today I'll share with you my digital story 13. Basically, it's a reflection on Model 13 with the title of Assessing with Technology. So here I'll start first with chapter 20 and 21 and then the article titled Dynamic Assessment. And after that, I'll explain how I would apply Dynamic Assessment DA to my area of interest using technology. So let's start. Starting with chapter 20, titled Integrating Assessment with Instruction Through Technology. Basically, this chapter highlights how technology connects assessment with teaching in order to create a meaningful learning experience. So here, technology is important to provide feedback, immediate feedback, and also align assessment with the goals of learning. And in addition to that, it also keeps students to track their progress. We can see that technology actually can act as a feedback. So here, the digital tools such as apps can give immediate feedback, and this is more effective than any other, or let's say the actual response from the instructors. So in this situation, actually, we can we have different writing apps that can highlight grammar errors or any clear sentences in the real time. Meanwhile, it suggests such corrections and also helps the second language learners to apply these changes. Also, we can give the point of aligning with the goals. So here, assessments actually must reflect the objectives of the classrooms or the topics in order to ensure the relevance. In these situations, for instance, there are a lot of apps that are concerned about vocabulary, which can track the words that are being learned by the learners in the class or outside, and also it includes them in quizzes, which in return actually it reinforces what the students have studied. And then tracking the progress. For instance, we have Google Classroom, which allows the instructors to monitor their students, and also even if they are within a group. It identifies such areas that need more attention, and also the instructor can adjust their teaching strategies based on the observations for the students. We can, for instance, consider one of the writing apps such as Grammarly. This app basically provides instant feedback on grammar and also the style of the writing. This actually app can allows learners to correct their errors and also at the same time improve their writing immediately. Moving to the second reading, chapter 21, titled Technology and High-Stakes Language Testing. So this basically, chapter 21 discusses how technology enhances high-stakes exams like a standardized test. It actually, these kind of tests determines access to, let's say, higher education in this situations. So basically, this technology here reduces bias and improves consistency in scoring, and also can be shown or seen as an automated system like those we have experienced in TOEFL or IELTS, which evaluate fluency, grammar, vocabulary, and so on. There are also technology that creates personalized experiences, which this occurs by adjusting the difficulty of the test based on the learner's himself or herself performances. So this actually can challenge those learners with the advanced levels without overwhelming the rest. In general, we can reflect on the example of one of the well-known test known as TOEFL. In speaking, for instance, speaking task that can, for instance, analyze pronunciations, fluency, and content accuracy, which in order to ensure that the objective of the result. The last paper, titled Dynamic Assessment for ESL, by our instructor, Dr. Sarah Smith. In this paper, this paper actually explores or highlights the dynamic assessments, DA, which combines teaching and assessment, and this is based on Vygotsky zone of proximal development. So DA actually focuses on what learners can achieve with support, and so turning the assessments into learning opportunities. In this reading, the main, or let's say key principles are: assessment should help learners to improve and grow. It's not just a tool, or let's say, it's a tool that to measure their abilities, and that's it. Also, teachers offer scaffolding, so providing hints and feedbacks during this, let's say, task and test. In this reading, actually, we have two models: the interventionist, which this follows a test, teach, retest format. For instance, a teacher tests comprehension, or let's say reading comprehension, and so teaches strategies like skimming, retest to measure progress in that situations. A second, or let's say the second model, is the interactionist. So here the teachers can support learners with a prompt and correct during the test, such as paraphrasing or rephrasing the questions, or modeling the correct grammar. So here the role of the technology is such as Qualtrics or language apps can deliver dynamic assessment, or DA, by offering immediate feedback or real-time feedback, and also adapting to the learner's needs during that scene. So a quick example can be used as the grammar test, which also can provide hints or give you a small options when it comes to difficult questions. So in these situations, it helps students to learn and improve while they are being assessed. Now I want to share with you how I would apply the DA, or dynamic assessment, to my area of interest, which is, in the situations here, I'm considering reading English as a foreign language by Arabic speakers, and how in the same situations, how technology can support this course or this process. So to start with, the DA actually integrates teaching and testing, focusing on helping second language learners to improve while they are being assessed. So when using the technology here, as we implemented, it can be implemented in an effective way, and that is through interactive tasks, such as we said, interactive tasks, and also tracking progress, personalized feedback, and finally immediate, or let's say real-time support. So to start with the first one, which is the interactive task, here the IT or interactive tasks are really essential for engaging learners and also assess their skills. So here I would start by designing such task in which students, they can summarize, analyze, and also answer questions about such English readings or passages. So for instance here, we can consider a task that starts with a simple questions like what is the main idea of this paragraph. So in that situation, if the learner answer the question correctly, the next questions can become more complex, such as what can you infer about the actors, for instance, feelings or experience based on the actions. On the other side, if the answer turned to be incorrect, so the system here would, or let's say could, scaffold by providing hints or clues, such as look at the second or third sentence, and it gives them like a sort of to clarify their understanding, and so they can reach the proper or the correct answers. Here, as we saw in the readings, we can have the tools such as Qualtrics, which will allow me in that situations to create these adaptive and interactive experiences. Moving to the tracking progress. So this actually occurs over time, which is another important principle here. So we can use the dashboards in which students, they can see how they started, and in the middle and at the end. Let's say how their reading skills improved across throughout the semester, and also across various metrics. Let's consider in the situations the growth of the vocabulary. So as students might notice that readings, they can understand other passages because they be learning more vocabulary. Another metric, for instance, we can see the speed of reading. So the students actually, they can see how their reading speed increased. Let's say from 80 to 100 and so on per minute. And so this can be presented through a visual representations, which actually can give the students motivations and help them to identify the weakness, so they can work on it more. Then we have the personalized feedback. This actually ensures learners to receive proper guidance, and actually it has to be tailored to meet or satisfy their needs. For instance, here we can have let's assume a reading any reading app. So when they read, the reading actually itself can highlight such a challenging vocabulary in the message itself, and provides them with the contextual meanings. So if a learner struggles having difficulties with a word, let's say meticulous, so here the technology actually can display the definition and within a sentence or example, what does the word meticulous means. So here let's say in a more details, like she gave the essay a meticulous review. So here the feedback can help the learners to understand their errors, and after that they can apply the corrections immediately, making their learning experience more effective. Moving to the fourth one, the real-time supporter. Finally here, the last, and the DA, dynamic assessment approach. So technology can act as a guide, offering a scaffolding when students face any challenges throughout their process of learning. For instance, if the comprehension question task, what does the word meticulous or fragile imply about the glass? So here the system might or can provide a clue or a hint, such as it means something broken. So this way of support can ensure that second language learners are not only assessed, but also they are being supported and assisted in overcoming obstacles as they progress and making achievement. Now we can summarize the main points as follows. First, technology enhances assessments by aligning them with the teaching objectives and goals so that it can provide immediate feedback and make them meaningful for learners. We also know that technology ensures fairness and adaptability in high-stakes testing, while at the same time addressing the impacts of these tests we mentioned before on teaching and learning. We touch on DA or dynamic assessment, which combines assessment and teaching, and this is actually based on Vygotsky zone of proximal development. This is actually to foster growth, which is during the learning and testing. And finally, we touch on the interactive task, progressive tracking, personalized feedback, and finally the real-time support, in which technology transformed reading assessment based on the area I chose, which is reading. And so this assessments for Arabic speakers into opportunities for their learning and development. Thank you for listening.